Okay, so let's see here. I want to see new Martin Scorsese movie, Killers of the Flower Moon. Huh, there you go. Wait, how long is this movie? Okay, so here's the thing. Mr. Scorsese, I love your work. I really do. I consider you a master at your craft. Okay, you're fantastic at it, and you tell stories I want to see. And I agree with you when you've made comments in the past that Hollywood executives have gone way too far overboard in pre-existing IPs, comic books, sequels, prequels, everything. Right? It's a pain in the butt. I get you. They have gone overboard. It's gone a little bit too much. I myself don't like it. I love all the geek stuff. Trust me, I lived in a desert of nothing where I couldn't get anything, and now all of a sudden I've got it everywhere. The problem is, at least that I have with it, is that I have to watch all of it. Like when you're a kid and you go to the comic book store, you could just be an Ant-Man fan if you wanted. You could just read his comics and everything's fine, right? But now all of a sudden, if you're an Ant-Man fan, you have to see the Iron Man movie, you have to see the Spider-Man movie, you have to see the Doctor Strange movie, you have to see the Avengers team up, even if Ant-Man's not in it, you have to watch all of them. Because all of them are now interconnected, and I think that's what's killing it. If anything is killing it, because obviously they're still making buku bucks or they would stop doing it. But if anything's killing it, I think it's that interconnectedness. We don't have the time for this shit. Okay? But anyway, I agree with you on all of that. But here's the problem. Movie theaters don't have intermissions anymore. I love intermissions. I think they're fantastic. I actually went to a movie one time that played a little Disney cartoon before it, and then they had a little 10-minute intermission, and then the actual movie. It was fantastic. It was great. I was able to get up, stretch my legs, and I was only a kid when this happened, so it was pretty nice, right? I could run around. I could refill my popcorn because, as an average American, we all eat our popcorn before the trailers even start, okay? So, Killers of the Flower Moon has a runtime of 3.5 hours. That is a really long time. A really long time. And we're not even counting the 30 plus minutes of trailers before the movie even starts. Okay, so there's trailers, there's commercials, and then there's movie. So at a minimum, we're going to be asked to sit still for 4 hours. You know, and that's if you want to be polite. I suppose I could pull out my phone and scroll on it in the middle of the trailers because who gives a fuck? Or I could talk to my loved one who sits next to me the whole time through the trailers, which is also annoying. But I'm one of those weird people who think if you go to the movie theaters, you should sit down, eat your popcorn, shut the fuck up, and focus on the movie. Like, this is a real big thing. I don't even do freaky nookie stuff with my lady friends when I go to the movies. Like, that's not me. That's not what happens here. So, yeah. When it comes to a 3.5 hour movie, we don't have the luxury of getting up and going to the bathroom. Like, even when I was younger, okay, in my 20s, the logistics of planning ahead for a 3.5 hour movie, it's like, okay, so I can't drink water like 2 hours before the movie. I really shouldn't get a beverage at the movie. Although I have to get something because I am getting salty as shit popcorn. So I'm going to sip it really, really, really slow and hopefully make it through the movie because I don't want to miss anything, right? I want to be totally focused in on your movie. It's a great movie. I want to see this movie. But the logistics of that is a pain in the ass because then you're talking about it's at least 6 hours before I'm actually drinking water or any kind of beverage whatsoever, and that's just not feasible. It's also not nice. I'm older now. I'm in my 40s. I don't have a problem with the plumbing downstairs or anything, but it's still a pain in the ass to logistically plan to go sit for 4 hours. It's not cool. There's absolutely no health magazine in the world that suggests any human being do that. Everything you read says, yeah, you should get up probably no more than every 20 minutes after you sit. So that is a concern. Now, I know your argument, Kyle. Avengers Endgame was a 3-hour long movie. And you're right. I did sit through that. I did plan the logistics to go through and sit through that movie. But here's why. Guess what's not happening now that Killers of the Flower Moon's been out for a week? There are no memes. Not a one. There's no spoilers. Nobody's talking about this movie. Now, that's not to say your movie's not great and it doesn't warrant concern or credibility, everyone talking about it, it probably is being talked about. But here's the difference: it's not being shoved down my throat. I would have to go look for spoilers and memes about Killers of the Flower Moon to find them. That's not possible with a Marvel or DC movie. The day after it releases, that Saturday, I can guarantee if I scroll through any social media or any internet, just by whether or not I even want to see the damn movie, I'm going to know a lot about it, period. Okay, take that Flash monstrosity. I haven't even seen it. I know the entire premise. I know all the spoilers. I know everything. And I didn't go looking for that stuff. That stuff was just thrown at me because that's what the internet does, right? So it's kind of a pain in the ass. I feel for you. I wish I could, but with Avengers Endgame, I had to put myself through that because I knew if I wait, I'm going to see things that spoil the fucking movie. And that sucks. I don't want to have a movie spoiled for me, but it's also not reasonable to ask everyone who wants to see your movie to not be on the internet for, a week or two. I mean, again, especially if you're a parent. Okay, you've got kids, you've got to plan ahead, they have sports things to go to, they have school, you all have to, it's a family event to go to, it takes a lot of work, and even Killers of the Flower Moon is a 3.5-hour movie, again, 4 with trailers and everything else. It's just not, it's difficult to get everyone together, and when you do finally get everyone together, you want to sit and focus on this thing. So, basically what I'm saying, and I've been saying this for a while now, I think any movie over 2 hours long should have a built-in intermission. Bring back intermissions! Intermissions were fantastic. They were great. Play a little song, play your soundtrack in the middle of it. I think directors could have a lot of fun with that. They get 10 minutes to just fuck around and do a musical for a little bit. Something stupid and silly that has nothing to do with the plot. A little cartoon. I don't know. But it also helps with everything else because the movie theaters don't make money off of my ticket. They make money off of my popcorn and my drink. Well, if the movie's 4 hours long and there's an intermission, that behooves me to get up out of my seat and go buy more, right? I mean, I like to eat popcorn. I think everybody does. And everyone wants to be able to drink and not have to worry about going to the bathroom. So they can buy the large soda at the beginning. Intermission happens, they can go relieve themselves, and then they can go buy another large soda and wait for the end of the movie, and everybody makes out here, man. The movie theater gets to charge its overpriced stuff, make a few extra bucks for our struggling theaters right now, and I get to not sit there and feel like I'm a prisoner of a good movie. Okay? I mean, I don't want to have to see your movie in the theaters twice. No offense, but it's 3.5 hours. I mean, that's a long time. So, as much as I respect you, as much as I think I'm going to enjoy this movie, because I've enjoyed everything you've made, for the most part, and I'm just throwing that as a caveat, I actually can't think of anything I didn't like you did, so, it's just one of those things, it's like, dude, I want desperately to see this, but the logistics that go behind a 3.5-hour movie is just a little much. There's no such thing as an intermission, so that blows. I think a director with your street cred, Mr. Scorsese, could reintroduce the intermission. If you made another epic like this that's 3.5, 4 hours long, and you added in an intermission of your own, and you're just like, well, I'm Martin Scorsese, and I can fucking do that. Yeah. Because after all, Christopher Nolan got Tenet to release in the middle of a pandemic, so don't tell me directors with some street cred don't have, the ability to push around these Hollywood execs every now and then. So, bring back the intermission, or unfortunately, as much as I would love to see your movie make all the box office that I think it's probably going to deserve, I'm going to have to wait for this one to come out on streaming. And not because I want to watch it on streaming. My living room's great. I have a great TV. I have a great sound system, but it's not the theater. It's not the same. There's still, reflections from the daylight that come in and screw everything up. I have cats that jump at bad moments and make noise in the background. It's a bit annoying, and I have kids, and if this is an adult movie, I can't watch it with them around, so now I have to couch when I can watch it, and I'm probably going to end up watching it in 30, maybe even 20-minute bites at a time, because I have to stop for this or that, because I'm not in the safety of a theater where I can just sit and focus on your project, which is what I want to do. I desperately want to do that, but it's 3.5 hours long. I don't have the bladder nor the logistics around me to be able to do that. I can't sit for that long. And also, movies around where I am, the earliest they start is like 11, and my kids get out of school. So, if it's a 90-minute movie, I can go sneak away, watch my little 90-minute comedy, and then be back home, and nobody even knows I went to the movie theater. And I can do that for certain films, because I have a different sense of humor than my wife sometimes. And, it's nice to hang out with her, and we do watch movies I don't think the other likes, because we just enjoy each other's company. But we can't do that for all of them. So, Mr. Scorsese, I love your work. I love your films. I think I'm going to love this film. I'm very sorry, but it's really long. I don't like the trend of movies getting longer. That's been a noticeable thing. Everyone's noticed it. Like, what happened to the 90-minute movie? Like, that died. And I understand, your movies aren't that way. I get it. That's fine. But please don't take it personal when people like me are just like, dude, I have a family. I don't have time to just chunk out 4 hours and then put myself through hell of, gathering up spit because I can't really drink beverage. That sucks. So, anyway, that's my side note for today. I'm very sorry, Mr. Scorsese. I would love to see your film.